What's one additional difference that you see in this election for these two gentlemen? What does that mean for our country, and why should someone who is still thinking about whether they should get out or not, what's the reason that they should go?
Well, I'm going to give a couple reasons real quick. Number one, you've got two candidates in Bourbon Warnock and Jon Ossoff who have shown themselves repeatedly to operate at the highest levels of integrity. And let's face it, you've got two incumbent senators who, in the midst of the worst public health crisis that any of us have seen in our lifetimes, we know we're first and foremost worried about their stock portfolio. Goodness gracious. That alone should tell you something. Somehow we've become inured to this kind of stuff. But when you've got a couple of senators who are downplaying a pandemic, towing the line of a president who botches the response to the pandemic, despite the fact that my administration had given them an actual playbook on how to deal with pandemics. And then as they're downplaying it, as they're ignoring the science and epidemiologists and suggesting that, this is something that is some partisan issue as opposed to something that Americans should rally around. At the same time, behind closed doors, they're calling their brokers. That's not public service. And so that alone should motivate, I hope, the people of Georgia to say, we want somebody in there who cares about us and who's thinking about us and is working for us every day. It doesn't mean that Reverend Warnock and Jon Ossoff are going to be perfect or they're going to solve every problem of every Georgian right away as a consequence of being elected, any more than electing me, solved every problem, or that I didn't make mistakes, or that there were still issues that were pending after 8 years of me being president. But the one thing I could say about my presidency, and the one thing I can say about John and Raphael for certain, is I know they're going to be working every single day to make sure that they are doing their absolute best to serve the people that serve them there. And that's the bare minimum that anybody should want. But beyond that, as I said, what is also at stake is if we're going to get significant economic relief for small businesses in Georgia that are suffering because of the pandemic, if we're going to seriously deal with the aftermath of the pandemic, if we are going to start building on the Affordable Care Act and making it even stronger so more people are reached, those kinds of agenda items require legislative initiatives, and we can't get that done unless we've got not just a White House, but also willing partners in Congress. And these two gentlemen, John and Raphael, I know that that's what they want to get done.